Hello and welcome. Tina McDermott here from Tina's Joyful Kitchen. And on today's show, we are going to make this wonderful yellow squash curry soup, as well as some ratatouille with cashew cream. All right, I'll say it in English. Ratatouille. I had to get the little roll of the tongue in there. I'm Italian, you know. Anyhow, that's what we're going to make, and let's get started with some yellow squash soup. I went to a farm-to-table place the other day, and they served this soup, and I had to get her recipe. It was just delicious, so I need to share it with you. So we're going to get our yellow squash, and we're going to cut that up. We're going to get some carrots, and we're going to get some onion. We're going to start with the onion though. I'm using my Instant Pot. You can do this easily on a stove top, not a problem. We're going to put it on saute, and I'm going to start with the onion. We always start with sauteing our onion, and I'm just going to peel off my onion and get rid of that skin. You don't need the skin. And I'm going to give that, who am I giving that back to? Like I always say, I'm giving it back to Mother Earth. It's on the floor, but that's okay. Give it back to Mother Earth. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to my saute pan or Instant Pot as it is. Really good, wonderful olive oil. And I'm going to quickly just chop up my onion and throw my onions in there. You don't have to be precise about this because this soup, I am going to puree it. We're going to puree it at the end. So I don't care how big your chunks are, it doesn't matter. Just get your onion in there. The next we're going to throw in some garlic. If you don't already use fresh garlic, I encourage you to use some fresh garlic. That's all you have to do. Mash it, get some frustration out, and you know what? I'm going to put my compost pan right there so that I can reach it a little bit easier. Is that okay? All right. And same thing with my garlic. I'm not even going to chop it up small, just big old chunks, throw them in there. I'll do a couple of cloves. If you don't do fresh garlic, you get fresh garlic because it helps to boost your immune system. The one that's in a jar, it's been heated, really high heat, and that destroys the active enzyme, so you're not going to get the immune boosting properties. You'll get the flavor, but not as much as you're going to get from fresh garlic. So I'm going to do 2 to 3 cloves. Let's get a third clove in there. Why not? And if you want to get the smell of garlic off your fingers, wash your hands and touch the stainless steel on your sink, and that will get the smell of garlic out of your hands. I hope that is a healthy, happy tip for you. There we go. The garlic aside, now I'm going to put some crunchy vegetables, which are the carrots. The carrots are a little more crunchy than the yellow squash, so I'm going to do the carrots next. And round things, make them flat before you cut them, or, there's a mandolin somewhere in my life. I'm going to ask my lovely assistant to come in here and hand me the mandolin, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to chop up carrots using a mandolin. Thank you. That's my niece, Juliana. All right. So mandolin, it's one of the tools, my lazy tools, that I have in my kitchen that is just so easy for you to chop stuff up sometimes instead of using your knife. You know how your hands get a little tired? Use your mandolin. Use the tool that comes with it so that you don't cut your pretty little fingers. Right in the pot. Again, it doesn't matter how big. I didn't even need to cut this carrot in half. I could have just put it right in there. I'm going to saute on low, and don't want to cut my little fingers. So real quick, get the carrots right in there. Did you notice I have a purple carrot? I love purple carrots. We want to eat all different colors of fruits and vegetables. And the red carrots, purple carrots, have stuff in it called proanthocyanidins, which are really, really, really good antioxidants. So even the big chunks, I'm throwing them right in there. Mandolin, if you don't have one, get one. Great investment. Next, we're going to throw in our yellow squash. Our yellow squash, cut off the ends. They're bitter. That's why you don't want to use those. And they might have, I don't know, just cut them off. You don't need them. And I'm not going to chop really pretty. It doesn't matter. Big chunks are perfectly fine. Remember, lazy inspirational chef. So we're going to throw in our yellow squash right in there. We're going to get our wooden spoon, because wooden spoons, what good Italian doesn't have a wooden spoon? I think I have about 20 of them. Stir that up while it's in there. And my lovely assistant cut up the rest of my yellow squash. Look, she made them all the same size. I never do that, ever, ever, ever. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So we're going to throw them in there. This soup is so easy. I encourage you to make this soup. It is wonderful. Next, we're going to put in some broth. You can use a vegetable broth. You can use a bone broth. As you already know, I'm keen on, or you might know, I'm keen on bone broth because the bone broth is full of collagen, really good for your connective tissue, your joints, and your gut, because you want a joyful gut. So again, vegetable broth, bone broth, about 4 cups. About 4 cups of bone broth. There we go. Make sure it's organic. Otherwise, it may have MSG in it and it destroys your brain cells. Get organic, okay? Now, we can choose whichever spices you like. Whichever spices you like. The one at the farm to table, the spices she used were turmeric, paprika, coriander, and some mustard powder, and some cinnamon. Those were the spices she used. I want to show you that you don't have to follow a recipe to the T. You can create your own flavor profiles and what you like. And I decided to use a curry. I know I loved her soup, but then I got to thinking about curry and how much I love curry. And curry is simply a mixture of a whole bunch of spices. And there's a whole array of different curries on the market. Find the curry that you like, that pleases your palate. And I buy them in bulk. I buy it in bulk at the store, and I just put them in my jar. And I kind of guesstimate about how much I want in there. Now, you could always add it, but you can't take it away. So I put 2 big teaspoons in there, and maybe I need a little bit more later, but I'll taste it later and we'll see if it needs more or not. And how simple is that? That's it. I'm not joking. That's it. I'm going to put the lid on my Instant Pot on, and we're going to cook this for 8 minutes. Let me put it on pressure cook. Cancel that. Pressure cook for 8 minutes. Now, with the Instant Pot, make sure that you seal the lid and that the nozzle is closed. Okay, the vent is closed. The Instant Pot is telling me that it is on, and it's going to take time to come up to pressure. It's going to take a little time. It depends. If that liquid was really cold, it'll take longer. If that liquid was boiling hot, it'll take a lot less. So it's going to take time to come up to pressure, and then it's going to cook for 8 minutes. And then I will vent it naturally. You can let it vent naturally, or I will vent it with you with a cloth to make sure that you don't want to burn yourself. So I'm going to show you how to manually vent it, okay? Once it's done, I'm going to get my immersion blender. We're going to put the immersion blender and blend everything together, and then I'm going to add some coconut cream. So back to that in about 20 minutes. While that is cooking, we're going to make our ratatouille. Can you roll your R's? Something to practice. Rolling your R's. Okay. Got my induction burner over here. Let's make sure that it turns on. Get yourself a heavy bottomed skillet, or not skillet, pot. Okay, a heavy bottomed pot. You can cook this in the oven. I prefer to cook this all stovetop, all of this stovetop. And since I lifted the pot, I have to turn it back on again. There we go. All right, we're gonna do stir fry. And we're gonna start with our ratatouille with a little bit of olive oil at the bottom. A little bit of olive oil and onions. I already have a bunch of onions chopped up, so I'm gonna throw the onions right in there and get them to saute them. I'll even use my same wooden spoon. It doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. Throw that in there. We're going to throw in some garlic. I love garlic. So there's that garlic. Here we go. Smash the garlic cloves, and they're easier to peel when you smash them. You can smash them with your hand or with the back of the knife. There we go. Or the back of the knife. Again, I am not particular about having little tiny pieces of garlic. It's fine. It's getting cooked, and I'll just chop it in my fingers right there. Here's another piece. The induction burner heats up so quickly that I have to stir it really quick and lower the volume or lower the temperature there. There we go. So we've got some onions in there, we've got some garlic in there, and now I've got some beautiful chopped up peppers. Beautiful chopped up peppers. Throw those right in there. Throw those right in there. And just sauteing them up so that they get nice and fragrant and they get a little translucent, okay? A little translucent. And I want to talk to you while that is sauteing up a little bit about eggplant. Let's talk a little bit about eggplant. And I love what I learned about eggplant is that you look at the bottom of the eggplant, and my niece cut up one of the eggplants that had just a circle. But you see how this is a little strip there? And this one is as well. The one that she cut up was just a dot in the middle. My cousin's like, one's a female and one's a male. The males have less seeds and they're less bitter. So if you can get more of the male eggplant, they'll be less bitter. Also, you want to make sure that you take the peel off. You don't want to cook the peel because the peel is also very, very, very bitter. You can use a vegetable slicer, or you can just peel your eggplant as I am doing it right now. If my mom taught me how to cook, my mom's off the boat Italian, and I've been in the kitchen with her my whole life, and she taught me how to hold a knife, and I cut towards myself. I don't recommend that everyone cut towards themselves unless they know how to do this. Otherwise, you get yourself a vegetable peeler and cut away from yourself. And eggplant. I love eggplant. I love the flavor. I love it in baba ganoush. I love it in ratatouille. I love it everywhere. So again, I'm not going to be precise with how big my... Life is messy. Wash your hands. I have to make a t-shirt with that. Happens. Okay. There we go. I don't believe I did that. Actually, I do believe it. I'm a little bit of a mess. That's okay. All right. So we're sauteing. We've got our onions. We've got our peppers, our bell peppers. We've got our eggplant in there. If you want more eggplant, you can put more eggplant in and saute that up. Basically, ratatouille is sauteed vegetables. That's what it is, sauteed vegetables. A key ingredient with ratatouille is tomatoes. I had these beautiful farm fresh tomatoes that a friend of my husband has a farm, and he gave me a whole bunch of tomatoes, so we cut those up. And again, I'm not particular with my tomatoes. I just cut them up right in my hand, put it right in the pot. This is the way my mom taught me. She jars tomatoes every single year. Every year she jars anywhere from 50 to I don't know how many tomatoes. And she always asks, do you have any more jars? Because she always gives me, you know, sparingly these days, a few jars of tomatoes. But this is how she taught me to cut the tomatoes up. And if I'm just making a stew like this, I'll just do it right in my hands like so. Easy peasy weasy. You can do a jar of tomato sauce. Can my lovely assistant give me the can opener, please? I don't think that those are enough tomatoes, and I think I want a little bit more tomato-y in my ratatouille. The can opener, please. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I love my assistant and my niece. And I love these fire roasted tomatoes by Muir Glen. They're organic, so I'm sure that there's no BPA in the liner of the can. And I love my can opener because the lid will not go into the food. So you don't have to worry about if there's dust or anything else that might be on the top there. So I'm just gonna throw a can in there. If you don't have fresh tomatoes, throw a couple of cans of the tomatoes in there, okay? Also, I'm gonna throw in some chopped up zucchini. You could use yellow squash if you want. You can use zucchini, whatever you have is perfectly fine. I think there's too much eggplant, so I'm not gonna put any more eggplant in there. And two things I did not put in here yet. Two things I did not put in here yet. I'm gonna put some sea salt, a little bit of sea salt. That's probably about a teaspoon of sea salt. Remember, you could always add it, but you can't take it away. You can always add it, but you can't take it away. We're gonna get some freshly ground black pepper. We're gonna grind it ourselves. Who says you don't use mussels in the kitchen? Here they go, I'm using mussels. Okay, freshly ground black pepper. And if you like hot pepper, you can put a little hot pepper in here right now. The other thing I like in ratatouille is some fresh thyme. My thyme plant died, so I had to buy the thyme, and I didn't get a chance to dry it, and it's fresh thyme. It's wonderful. I can either take these little pieces off one at a time and put them in there, or I can just get the whole sprig, throw it in there, and pull them out later. I'm lazy. Go ahead and do that. Throw them in, pull the sprigs out later. It'll save you time, it'll save you energy, it'll save you frustration. Unless you're like my sister and you find it very cathartic to sit here and pull all these little leaves off. With time, it's easier to let it dry and then strip the leaves. It's a lot easier than to do it fresh. Fresh, I'll just throw the whole thing right in there. There we go, put more pieces in. Fresh thyme has this beautiful flavor to it. Beautiful. I am just beside myself. Happy. Food makes me happy. I think I'm a foodie. No, I know I'm a foodie. Okay, there we go. So we have all of that. Let's move this out of our way and grab our lid. And we're going to cook that for 20, 25 minutes. Longer if you want it stewy. Shorter if you want it chunky. With the ratatouille, I'm going to serve it with a cashew sauce, a cashew cream sauce. And this is what she did at the farm to table that I found just absolutely wow. It wowed me. I loved it, absolutely loved it. So I'm gonna get my blender and I'm going to put a cup of soaked cashews. Get some raw cashews, pour hot water in it and let it sit for a half an hour to an hour, drain off the water and throw the cashews in. If you want to soak them overnight in room temperature water, you can do that too, okay? But if you want a quick fix, hot water. There you go, hot water. And we're gonna put some lemon juice in there. And I don't have my handy dandy lemon squeezer, so I'm just gonna use my hands and I'm gonna do things the old fashioned way and catch the seeds with my fingers. Because you don't want the seeds in there. The seeds will make it bitter, and we do not want bitter. We do not want bitter. All right, yep, make a face like that. I caught the seeds, and with the lemon, you can either give it back to Mother Earth, right in your compost pile, or use it for your garbage disposal. I found these things at the store called something with a P, plunkers or something to put in your garbage disposal, and I thought to myself, why would you buy those? Throw the lemon in there. It disinfects and cleans out your garbage disposal. There you go. I won't turn it on right now, but I will later. And it just smells, it makes the house smell wonderful. All right, so we're gonna do lemons, a little bit of sea salt, just a little bit. I'm gonna do like a half a teaspoon of sea salt, some fresh pepper. And let's see if I missed anything. I don't think so. And I'm going to blend this right up. I'll be right back. It's best if you do this in a food processor versus your blender. My food processor was not available today, so I'm doing it in the blender. And It's not a big deal. It's just I needed to push it down a little bit in order to make the cream. And I'm probably gonna need a little bit more liquid. So we're gonna do, I love lemon. I love lemon. Lemon is wonderful. I love the flavor. I love what it does to your body. It really does. It disinfects your body. My father has had problems with his stomach his whole life because of a gunshot wound to his belly. So he drinks lemon water all the time. He'll even boil the lemon peels, and he says it disinfects your intestines. And as I grow up and I learn, I'm a nutritional consultant, and I teach people how to lose weight and all of this. It's true. Lemon does disinfect your intestines. It's so good for you. It is so good for you. Well, that one I gave back to Mother Earth. I'm going to put a little water and then blend it up again. I'll be right back. Almost, or almost there. Oh my gosh, it smells wonderful. All right. There we have it. Our coconut cream is complete. Our coconut cream is complete. I'm just going to put it in a bowl, or I just have this available. Remember, I'm lazy. And when I'm serving the ratatouille, I will serve it with a dollop of this cashew cream on the top. I've had ratatouille my whole life. My mom always made this, and we've never had the cashew cream, and it's just so good. It's so good. I hope that you make it because it's delicious. And what I did is I probably ended up adding about a 1/4 cup of water to it because it was in the blender, and the whole lemon. And now you'll taste it and you'll see, does it need more salt? Does it need, what does it need? It doesn't need anything. It needs nothing other than to be eaten on top of the ratatouille. So there we have it, our cashew cream. And all we have to do now is wait for our soups, or our soup and our ratatouille to complete cooking, and then we'll do the finishing touches on them in just a moment. All right, everything is ready to put the finishing touches on. The 8-minute timer went off, and now we're on the Instant Pot, and we're going to manually vent it without burning ourselves. So I get a dishcloth, a very thick dishcloth, and I put it over that, and then there you go. You can hear it venting. Stay away. You don't want to burn yourself. That steam will burn you. So use a cloth, do exactly what I did, and wait. This lid will not come off until it's completely depressurized. So we're just going to calmly wait for that to depressurize. Don't go tugging on the lid. It's not going to come off no matter what you do. Wait. Be patient. Take some deep breaths. Do a little bit of meditation in your kitchen. Or you can stir the ratatouille. What do you think? So I'm just going to stir the ratatouille. Oh, a word. Careful, the lids, even on the Instant Pot, have a lot of water on them. So be careful when you lift the lid up, turn it in so that the water goes into the pot and not all over your stovetop. And this is coming along beautifully. And it's chunky right now. It's perfect. It's exactly how I want it. And I'm going to turn this off, and we'll serve that up That's very hot, so I needed to put that down. We're gonna serve this up while we're waiting for this to vent, okay? I got one of my beautiful pottery bowls. I love pottery bowls. And avoid the sprigs of thyme or just eat them. They're good for you. And I'll show you how gorgeous, yes, I think food is gorgeous. Yes, I do. How gorgeous this ratatouille is. And look how pretty that is. Look how gorgeous that is. We're gonna get our delicious lemony cashew cream and put a dollop right at the top and serve it just as is. There you go, ratatouille with cashew cream. I think the Instant Pot's almost done. I think it's almost done venting. Let's go check on that. Let's go check on that. Almost. Not quite. Not quite. Once that comes off, we're going to pour, I'm going to use the whole can of coconut milk. You can do half the can. You can do a quarter of the can, whatever you like. Coconut milk tames the heat. It tames the heat. So I like a lot of coconut oil. Coconut is antiviral, antimicrobial, antibacterial. Incredibly good for you. I recommend you eat some kind of form of coconut, whether it's coconut milk, coconut butter, coconut oil in your daily life. I highly, highly, highly recommend you do that. So that's ready. I'm also going to chop up some beautiful parsley to put on the top of it. Parsley, let me give you a hint here. When you buy parsley, put it in a little bit of water in your jar. And you can sit it on the countertop and it'll stay beautiful for a couple of days. Or if you want it to last a little longer, put the jar in the refrigerator and it'll last a little longer. Parsley doesn't last long in my house because whatever we don't add to our foods, I'll even add some parsley to the ratatouille, I'll make a pesto with. My sister taught me to make pesto with the parsley. It is phenomenal. Same recipe as you use for regular pesto, but you can mix basil with the parsley. Parsley is really good to help detoxify your liver, so always have parsley on hand. My mom always has parsley growing, and at the beach house they have a little tiny plot of land that she puts tomatoes, fig trees, and parsley. And even in the gravel where we park the cars, I don't know, the parsley leaves fly and there's parsley growing out of the gravel. Yeah, we don't eat that parsley, but I just thought it's funny to mention that. And again, I'm not precise with how I'm chopping up my parsley. I'm just going to strip it off of the stems, and I don't mind eating the stems is not a problem. They could be a little bitter, so you don't want too many of them. And there we have it. I'm just going to mince them up real quick, even if they're big pieces. Parsley also cleanses your palate at the end of a meal. So when you see them serving parsley on your plate when you go to restaurants, don't just think that it's there to be pretty. It's literally there to help cleanse your palate as well as add digestive enzymes to your meal, to your belly, and it helps to detoxify the liver. So eat parsley on a normal basis. See, the Italians know what they're doing. Eat parsley, eat parsley, eat parsley. It is done. I hear it is not spewing steam any longer, and now the lid is coming off. Remember, there's liquid in the lid and you don't want to get it all over the countertop or burn yourself with the hot liquid. So twist the cap off, lift it up, and turn it in so that that hot liquid doesn't go all over you. Put the lid in a safe place. The aroma from this is out of this world. I wish you could be here and you can smell it with me. Holy wow. I'm thinking I want to put the pot right here so you can see it better, but I need some help with that. Give me a second. Let me do that. Yeah, I want you to be able to see this, but it's very hot, so give me a second. Here we go. Okay. All the vegetables are lovely cooked. The onions, the squash, and the carrots, and in the broth, and the cumin. Oh, it is delightful, this smell. We're gonna add the coconut milk. Again, add how much you want. You don't even have to add it. You can just make a coconut cream and serve it, a dollop of coconut cream when you serve the soup. I'm a little lazy, I don't wanna do it that way. I'm just gonna put all the coconut milk. By the way, don't get light coconut milk. There's something that they put in there, I can't quite remember what it is, that you don't want. Just get the full fat, you need the fat, it's good for you. Next, we're just going to get our stick blender, also known as an immersion blender. I have the big blender, but I always have an immersion blender as well for this reason. You don't want to be transferring hot liquid to a blender to blend it up and then transferring it back. Too much work. Remember, be lazy like me. I'm going to blend this up and I'll be right back. How easy was that? How easy was that? And here's my favorite part. This is all you have to wash. Put that right in the dishwasher. Put that right in the dishwasher. So now I'm going to serve it. We're going to serve it. Oops, a little hot. And look how gorgeous that is. Oh, I have a little chunk in there, but that's okay. There we go. And I went, when we had it at the farmhouse, I went for seconds. It was that good. And then we're going to serve it with some toasted, I always get these wrong, sunflower seeds. I want to call them sesame seeds sometimes. Sunflower seeds. I literally got the raw seeds, put them in the toaster oven, hit toast for 4 minutes and toasted them up. It brings the flavor up of the toasted sesame seeds, and I don't like to buy them already toasted. They're much better when you toast them yourself. So you're going to add a couple of those when you serve it. Let me move this pot over. And you're going to add a little bit of parsley. We're going to add a little parsley to our ratatouille as well. And there we have it, our yellow squash beautiful soup and our ratatouille. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, namaste. Bye for now.